CBS News consultant and former deputy director of the Secret Service, A.T. Smith, who joins us on the phone. A.T., I don't know if you were able to see that video of the sniper response. What are your thoughts in terms of their quick reaction?
Well, that is exactly what they're supposed to do. They are positioned for long-range threats, and the kind of thing that we're talking about apparently occurred tonight. At the same time, their responsibility is to have 360-degree coverage. In other words, when I talked earlier about concentric rings of security, a outer perimeter, a middle perimeter, and an inner perimeter, the counter sniper team is really responsible for beyond that outer perimeter. And, they have long-range binoculars, long-range weapons, scopes, and that sort of thing. And so their responsibility is to be panning 360 degrees around that site, that event, to search for a threat of this type.
A.T., I just want to quickly tell our viewers that a White House official has told CBS News that President Biden was able to speak tonight to former President Donald Trump. He also spoke to the governor of the state of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, as well as the mayor of Butler, Pennsylvania, Bob Dandoy. And we know President Biden is returning here to Washington to receive an updated briefing tomorrow from Homeland Security and from law enforcement officials. A.T., given the moment we are in, and I just keep making that broader point because of the concern of how these hours are handled. As a former Secret Service officer, what are you thinking in this moment, ahead of a convention, 4 months out from an election? What kind of security increases can be done at a time when we are already at such a high threat level?
Well, and earlier, as I think Major Garrett pointed out, in Milwaukee, there's already enhancements that they believe will be underway. I mean, certainly they had not cut any security measures prior to the convention. But when you have an event like this, everything will be reevaluated constantly, and I'm sure that they will increase the manpower. There had been a lot of back and forth and controversy, I think, about the protest zones in Milwaukee. I'm sure that will be reevaluated because, while everyone's entitled to their First Amendment rights, they will just have to take a harder look at that and make sure that, the security around events like that and protests are, adequately prepared for. But having said that, I think until they determine that this was a lone gunman versus a concerted effort, there'll be an increase in most all of the protective details. Again, someone mentioned earlier how many protectees we have, president, vice president, obviously the former presidents, but there are others out there that are protected by the Secret Service as well, the Secretary of Treasury, Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. And then obviously the Capitol Police have members of Congress and throughout the federal government. So I think all of the security details will take a hard look at where they may be. They'll work hand in hand with the Secret Service to see if any of the threat stream information increased and picked up. And, as you pointed out and I mentioned earlier, the FBI now becomes the lead agency in this investigation, but they've obviously brought in the ATF, who has the expertise to determine all of the ballistics, the gun-related issues.
Yep.